On purpose. A mountain, a book, and the quiet work of meaning. Look at this photograph for a moment. A single person sits on a rocky ledge, a book open in his hands. Behind him, a range of mountains stretches into the sky, jagged peaks softened by distance and the light of the late day. At his side, a backpack, a pair of boots, a thermos, the quiet supplies of a life lived outdoors. He has paused on a long journey to read. He has carried what he needs. He has found a view. When I see this scene, I do not first think about the book he's reading, or the model of his jacket, or the brand of those boots. I think of purpose. I think of why someone would carry a pack up a mountain, knowing the trail will be steep. Why they would stop, sit, and open a book when there are more summits to climb. Purpose is what makes that pause meaningful, rather than wasted time. Purpose is what makes heavy loads bearable. Purpose draws us forward across uncertain terrain. So today, I want to talk about purpose, what it is, how we recognize it, how we carry it, and how we steward it so that our lives, like this hiker's rest stop, feel directed and belong to something larger than the moment. What purpose is and what it isn't. First, purpose is not a single destination with a lit marquee that appears perfectly labeled at age 37. Purpose is not only a career title or a big announcement. Purpose in its most practical form is an organizing direction, a story you tell yourself that shapes the choices you make daily. It's the compass that helps you pick a path when multiple routes are available. Look at the person in the picture. He's not at the mountain's peak, and he may not even know which ridge he will walk next. Yet he has a map of sorts, a book he reads, a pack he carries, boots that are worn from steps already taken. Those things speak to a set of values: curiosity, endurance, preparation. Those values are a kind of purpose. How to recognize your purpose. You can recognize purpose in 3 small signals. Energy. What activities make you feel energized rather than drained? The hiker's face is peaceful, attentive. The act of reading there probably renews him. That renewed energy matters. Purpose often shows up as energy, not exhaustion. Impact. What do you do that changes something outside you, even a little? Maybe your writing nudges one person to act. Maybe your care of a plant becomes an exercise in patience that changes how you interact with people. Purpose reaches beyond the self. Persistence. What would you return to, even when it's hard? The hiker carried his boots and backpack through rough path after rough path because he kept returning to the trail. That return is the fingerprint of purpose. If you can spot these signs in a pattern, repeated energy, meaningful impact, and persistent return, you're likely touching a purpose worth following. Beginning small, the deliberate day. Purpose doesn't begin with a manifesto. It begins with a morning. The hiker didn't wake up on the summit. He started at the trailhead, laced his boots, checked his pack. That routine set the conditions for the rest of the day. If you are trying to find or strengthen purpose, begin by designing a deliberate day. Choose one small ritual: reading for 20 minutes, walking without a phone, calling one person that matters, and protect it. Purpose grows in the soil of repeated actions. Consider your habits as base camp. The big climbs come from steady campsites, one after another. Aligning choices with the compass. A compass points, and you choose the path. Purpose does the same. The tricky part is that there are many technically good paths: successful careers, admired relationships, popular causes, and they won't all align with your internal compass. Ask yourself, which of my options would I choose if I had to carry them up a mountain? Which of these will I be willing to care for when the weather turns rough? Here's a test. Imagine doing a thing that pays well but drains you, and imagine doing one that pays less but feels meaningful. Which would you be willing to do even when the admiration fades? Your answer often reveals your true compass. The inevitable obstacles and how to meet them. Mountains are beautiful in photographs. Real mountains have scree slopes, sudden storms, wind that bites. Purpose will be tested. You will face doubt, comparison, and the practical demands of bills and obligations. When the storm comes, remember 3 practical tools seen in the image. Preparation, the pack. Build reserves, financial savings, emotional practices like journaling, relationships that anchor you. Pack light, but pack essentials. Community. The trail is rarely truly solitary. Even lone hikers meet other trekkers on the way and share water, maps, stories. Purpose is better sustained in conversation. Find mentors, peers, people who will encourage you and tell you the hard truths. Patience, the boots. Durable things take time. Your progress may look slow. That is not failure. That is the shaping of endurance. Endurance refines what you're carrying so it fits you better. Purpose and change. Why it must be flexible. Notice how the hiker's posture is relaxed, not rigid. Purpose is not rigid. If you cling to a single image of success, you'll break when reality shifts. Purpose must be flexible enough to be practiced in changing forms. A gardener's purpose might be to cultivate beauty. That could mean tending a garden in one season and teaching children in another. The work looks different, but the underlying aim remains, to cultivate. Allow your purpose to translate across roles and seasons. The small daily acts that matter. Purpose is a series of small acts strung together. It's the choice to read when the trail is long, to reply to a message that could have waited, to show up for someone in a small way. These acts accumulate. The man in the photo is reading, a small thing, but a replenishing one. Those moments are the bricks that build a life of purpose. If you want a practical assignment, pick 3 small actions that reflect what you care about and practice them for 30 days. Track them. The cumulative effect will surprise you. Legacy without vanity. A peak is not the same as a life well lived. Purpose asks us to look past trophies towards contribution. The hiker's legacy is not the number of peaks he has taken selfies on. It is the trail he leaves, perhaps a note in a field journal, a mentorship to a younger hiker, the kindness shared with someone on the path. Ask, what small trace do I want to leave? It need not be monumental. Often it is the quiet, steady presence we offered that becomes our most meaningful legacy. The ritual of returning to the view. Finally, one of the deepest lessons in this image is the ritual of taking the view, of stopping to read, to breathe, to appreciate. In our lives, we often condition meaning on outcomes. I'll be fulfilled when I get that job, that recognition, that milestone. The hiker teaches us something else. Sometimes purpose is not only in the climbing, but in the looking. So build into your life a weekly, monthly, annual ritual where you stop and take the view. Review your compass. Ask, what is aligning? What has gone off course? What is worth packing lighter? These rituals help you course correct gently. Closing. Carry what matters. When we leave here today, we will not be carrying heavy packs up real mountains, but we do carry things, commitments, obligations, dreams. The image asks us to choose what to bring along and how to travel. Carry curiosity, the book. Carry preparation, the pack. Carry steady feet, the boots, and carry companions where you can. Let your life be a series of purposeful pauses and brave steps rather than a frantic sprint from one thing to another. If you want a one-sentence summary to take with you, purpose is the set of small, repeated choices that connect your daily actions to a life you are proud to own. So the next time you find yourself at a ledge, whether literal or metaphorical, sit down, open whatever book you need to open, breathe, look out over the valley. Then, when you're ready, stand up and keep walking in the direction your compass quietly points. Thank you.